All right, guys, here we go. Take two. Bitcoin blows past 10K. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I'm receiving live reports that we actually briefly blasted past 11K. Meanwhile, in the wake of all this bullishness, the IRS threatens to crack down on cryptocurrency tax evaders. Russia is about to officially adopt cryptocurrency. Apple makes a massive move to spark adoption and security. And while all this is occurring, Peter Schiff is calling this a suckers rally. We'll see who the sucker is on today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin, brought to you live on today, Saturday, June 22nd, 2019, your daily source for market updates, sentiment, and news for professional traders. So, sorry for the little hiccups, guys. We did have to restart, and that was absolutely my bad. There was a switch that should not be switched. Should just take the restream chat. Should just take the restream chat just a second to kick back on. So, thank you guys so much for helping us out. Of course, Wally, thank you so much for throwing the $2 there right at the beginning of yesterday, or excuse me, at the first take on the show. And of course, thank you again for the $25 saying this is for your internet. For those experiencing buffering, back up 1 minute and no problems. For those who aren't, for those who want market stop orders on Coinbase Pro, Gunbot supports that. Learn, earn, and don't get burned. So of course, guys, go check out Gunbot if you guys do want to utilize that feature as well to not get locked into only using limit stop orders, which are terrible on Coinbase Pro. And again, glad to have a solution to this problem as we move forward because Coinbase Pro will be an exchange that we're going to be trading on. So give me 1 second. I'm trying to fix the restream chat to get everything fixed. There we go. I think it just came through there. Perfect. All right. Sorry about the inconvenience and the headache, guys. So we're just going to barrel right along, okay? At least I'm not purple yet. All right. So, sorry, guys, but we do got to repeat everything just so that we have this for continuity and the podcast moving forward. So, of course, I am your host, Justin Wise, a lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. And a huge shout out to everybody watching us across YouTube, Twitch, DLive, Facebook Live, and of course on Roku at the Investors News channel. If you guys want to support the show, make sure to subscribe, share, and engage in the live chat. Of course, this episode of Breaking Bitcoin is brought to you by us. If you are new to trading or an experienced trader looking for something different and better, then check out all we have to offer on the premium info page. Proprietary signals, custom strategies, reliable signals and setups from our team of analysts and traders, educational content in both audio and video form, our library, our private Discord community, access to all of our information in the Pathways to Profit strategy building course, as well as our other educational material on topics from technical strategy, risk management, position sizing, and fundamental analysis as well. All that and more at premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. That's premium.krakencryptocurrency.com. All right, guys. So some updates first for the premium trading group. Last night, I went ahead and published and, all right. Thank you so much, Wally. Thank you so much for the other $5. He says also use the coupon code CC for checkout on their site for, I would assume, something awesome. That's Gunbot University and Gunbot. Thank you so much, Wally, for the support and for offering our users that CC discount or something awesome. Maybe you get a bow. I'm not exactly sure, but thank you so much, man. That sounds awesome, dude. Yeah, it is pretty huge. We're very, very happy to be the first streamer on Roku for the Investors News channel. Very, very happy to be on there. They're a fantastic team to work with, and I think that restart probably ticked them off, probably just a little bit, but hopefully they were able to scramble. Very good team over there. All right, let's see here. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Okay, so last night, for the premium trading group, I published lesson 8 of module 2. Lesson 8 of module 2, which is expanding and optimizing your back testing. So far in our strategy building, we have selected our primary initiator and we have ran it through a fairly rigorous series of testing. Looking a little tan there, Justin. It's been a good summer, guys. It's summer. It's crypto summer, and it's summer where I'm at as well. Of course I'm out. I've got a young daughter. We are running through the park every single day. Thank you for noticing. So far we have put our initiator through some very rigorous testing. And we have arrived at something that is very good. We've rank weighted it against our other potential aspects or against our other potential initiators. And this is exactly the process that we need to follow to arrive at the best possible indicator that we are going to select. And I walk through everybody how to do that systematically and methodologically. By the way, Dick Sean, thank you so much, or DK Sean, my bad. Thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch. Thank you so much for joining the community as well. Jeff Handsome, thank you so much for the CAD 2 from yesterday's show, and forevermore AMR. Thank you so much for the sub over there on YouTube. So far, this is the correct and best way that I know of, and this is the method that I utilize as well, to select the indicators that are going to go into your if this, then that strategy to incorporate all the methodology of PTP. It's not just the tools, it's the rules, and that's what makes the system a success. One of the secrets to our success is utilizing actual statistics and verifiable data to rank order the efficiency of our indicators that we use for certain things. And it is all the indicators that we use that come together to form a beautiful system that allows us to create more profit than loss and apply our strategy across the wide breadth of the entire cryptocurrency market. So I pushed 2.8 last night, so lesson 8 of module 2. And what that does is it takes the initiator that you think you have, and you got to push it through more testing. You got to test it on more than what we've just tested it so far. So this is going to take where we are right now, and it's the final test. It's the final put the hot steel in the forge to make it the exact strong tempered steel that you need, right? To make the best possible tempered blade, the best possible tempered weapon that you're going to utilize against the entire market, whether you're trading cryptocurrency, Forex, or traditional markets, that you're going to utilize through the rest of your trading career. And so applying patience and diligence and methodology to this aspect of our testing and trading is absolutely essential, because this is going to be with you for the rest of your trading life. And it is absolutely essential that you put in the time, the grind, the patience, and the effort now, and not in the market when you have where if you switch something up, statistically, you're going to fail. So all the work needs to go in now. All the creativity needs to go in now. All the testing needs to go in now. All right, so I do have lessons 1 and 2 for module 3 done, and they will be published tomorrow. So that's why I wanted to get that out. It would have been nice if I put it out a few days, because sometimes the additional testing, the optimizing and expanding the back test for the initiator can take a little bit longer. But I know that everybody, from the messages that I've got, a lot of the guys in the group are being very diligent. They're taking their Friday night and they're taking their Saturday night to really start grinding out and doing their testing. And those are the individuals that in 6 months to a year are going to be professional traders. They're going to be handling other people's funds if that's what they want to do, or they're going to be just absolutely crushing it in the market, like most of them are already crushing it right now. So shout out to all you guys, especially the ones putting in all the work, putting in all the time, and I'm very, very, very proud of you. Because you are the individuals that are going to be the next wave of professional traders absolutely dominating the market. So, going to put out module 3 tomorrow, so very much looking forward to that and seeing the progress from everybody. I'm going to put the quiz up too. The quiz isn't done. Of course, you guys know that we do a quiz for every module to make sure that everybody gets it, and then there's going to be additional quizzes as we go on, because somebody's got to stay on top of you guys. But that's about it. I haven't had time to go through all of the user-submitted additions to the advanced position size calculator and trading journal yet. I promise to get that done. Now, today is the last day for registration for the Bybit trading competition, so there is a potential for a pretty nice prize if you guys are in the trading competition. Most of the guys in the group have registered. You don't have to be in the group to register to compete in the trading competition. All you need to do is sign up at Bybit with our link at bybit.crackencryptocurrency.com. Or if you have already registered an account, all you need to do is create another account just for the purposes of the trading competition. And when you're done, you can take your funds off and go somewhere else. It's whatever you want to do. But if you want to participate in the competition, it is linked to our primary account. So you do have to sign up with our link, bybit.crackencryptocurrency.com. You need to have a minimum of 0.05 BTC to participate in the competition. competition. The competition is going to run for a week, and at the end of the week, whoever has the most equity growth wins the prizes. There's a top prize there, and then there's runners-up prizes. I think all the way down to number 10 is how it's going to work. So if you guys want to participate in that, I need your user ID. Just sign up with our link, and then get a hold of me in the Discord, or email us at contact@krakencryptocurrency.com and send me your user ID. You can get it from your settings page. It's like your password, nothing crazy like that. It's your user ID. It's public information. You can also change your display name to find yourself easier in the leaderboard, which there'll be a website for the leaderboard. So, and then I'll also create a channel as well in the Discord to keep everybody updated on who is doing the best. So if you guys want to compete against me, if you guys think that you're better traders than me, sign up and prove it. Come, let's. This is a call out. Let's do this, baby. Let's see here. I want to thank, of course, before we get into the show, our current Discord Nitro boosters and everybody supporting the community. And, of course, yesterday's YouTube comment winner, Lil Drit 1976. I already got a hold of you. You already got a hold of me in the Discord, and I tipped you some crypto. So let's get into the show, guys. Thank you so much for being patient. Let's get it. So, of course, we're going to start off today. We're going to start off today's show, as we do every show, and pick a random YouTube comment winner. And we're going to tip them some crypto, because we just like doing that. So we're going to choose a video, and we're going to go grab the URL from yesterday's video. Here it is. Bitcoin blows past Russia on its way to 10K, $1 trillion market cap. Here we come. Call out, drink. All right, so here's the URL from yesterday's video. We're going to load comments up and randomly pick a winner. There are 15 potential winners. Best of luck to everybody. Bing, ding, 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 ding. Fashion God with 1 comment, 0 likes. Great video. Thank you so much, Fashion God. And you are a great person for commenting on the video. Thank you so much for supporting the community and our efforts here on YouTube. Get a hold of me in the Discord at JustinWise5696. And I will tip you some crypto, my good friend. Thank you for supporting the show. Moving right along, getting into the Bitcoin price chart. Oh, my dear Lord, that is a long wick. This is just a beautiful looking chart, if ever I seen one. Corey Tate, what's going on, man? Good to see you here. Welcome to the community. All right, so let's start off, as we always do, with our Bitcoin to USD analysis, and that was Fashion God. I think people should probably, here's the thing. If you want to participate in the giveaway, it probably would be helpful if you left your Discord, username or your tag in your comment. That way I can just DM you, and I don't have to rely on individuals DMing me. Maybe I'll think about it. Got that tinfoil hat sense tingling. All right. So let's take Rodrigo ATR off, and let's go look at the chart, and we'll talk about exactly how yesterday went down. So we got the continuation long signal. It was already displaying yesterday during yesterday's show. When we did yesterday's show at noon, from noon to 2, I already said I'm going to take a long at the close of the daily candle. I actually ended up putting my position on around 6:15. Chart IGNIS. Let's see here. No blue background anymore. No. So we did, so I ended up putting my trade on around 6:30. And actually, let me pull open BTC USD, and I'll actually just look at my price. It was around 10,217, actually, where I got into the trade. And that's actually averaged out because there were a couple. But anyways, I digress. So took a continuation long at the close, or around the close of yesterday's candle, because there is a window in which I am allowed to trade, or I allow myself to trade, I should state that. Because whenever I say I'm allowed to trade, people are like, so what, man? You got do you got like a incubus that sits over you and tells you when you can and can't do things? Are you controlled by the man? Do you work for the Rothschilds? No, it's because one of the key rules of my success, one of the secrets to my success, and one of the secrets to everybody who trades PTP in the premium trading group is rules, right? They're self-imposed rules that stop us from doing stupid things. That's all it is. We win. There's lots of secrets to our success. There's a lot that goes into PTP, but one of the biggest things is just simply trading by rules. There is such a huge majority of individuals out there who apply this much discipline to their life. They don't get up early. They don't go to bed on time. They don't work out. They don't eat good. They don't apply discernment to their relationships. Guys, go listen to a Hobson song if you want to know the average person in general for discipline and mentality. And this is true, and this is why we focus a lot on lifestyle. This is why we focus a lot on psychology. This is why we focus a lot on how you think and what you do. Everything that goes into your head and into your body is going to come out. And you have to be very careful what media you consume. You have to be very careful what people that you look up to. You have to be very careful the people that you hang around with. And this is all a way to say that, as in life, in the market, those who trade according to a disciplined, methodological, strategical rule set or data set are going to have more success than anybody who just comes in and trades willy-nilly. I always see this. People will put on a great trade. You see this all the time on crypto Twitter. And by the way, there's some good information to be found on crypto Twitter, but the way that I use crypto Twitter is I look for smart people's opinions on fundamental issues like news or taxes or fundamentals or things of that nature. I don't look for trading advice on there. Mon, go. Thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, and welcome to the community, my good friend. You have to be very careful when discerning whether somebody is a good trader, because what does that even really mean? And you have to be very careful when somebody is giving advice on crypto Twitter, for example, with screenshots and things of that nature, blah, 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 blah. Because the reality is, you're going to see a lot of people on crypto Twitter who are like, yeah, man, look at this badass trade that I just caught. But you are not seeing, as above, so below in your bags, Leroy Jenkins. Thank you so much, Blockchain Gains. May was a fantastic month. Jeff Handsome, thank you so much for the CAD 5, my good friend. He says, was a fruitful morning. Thanks for the work you put in and day out. And now I have to pop something up to see the rest of your comment. He says, thanks for the work you put in and day out. Your discipline, rationality, and level-headedness are contagious. That's all I could possibly hope for, man. Thank you so much for the support and for being a member of our community, my good friend. So, one of the things that I get, I guess one of the drawdowns, is that I'll engage with the chat and then I'll lose my train of thought. So all I'm trying to say, long story short, is that if you apply discipline to your trading strategy, I was talking about crypto Twitter, because catching any one individual good trade, so sorry to reverse back to the point, catching any one good individual trade means absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you a good trader. The only thing that makes you a good trader is the ability to perform that consistently over time. And so the only thing, and this is why I put the results of my trading live, you can always go see all of my closed trades at currentresults.krakencryptocurrency.com. Every single thing that's on that sheet is a position that I took. So it's very important to be accountable for what you do. It's very, very, very important to remain accountable for what you do. And I don't see any accountability coming from really anybody else in the space. There are a few choice exceptions. There are individuals out there who are maintaining accountability when it comes to their trading and what they're doing. Dalibor1210, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch, man. Jeff is a good man. That's what he is. All right, so that was, for some reason, I just went to Zao. I don't really want to do that. I want to go back to Bitcoin over there on Bitstamp. And let's break this down. So so here's actually what I did last night. I took a long on Bybit to the upside. I took a small hedge position on the U19 contract, okay? I took a small hedge position on the U19 contract, exited the U19 position fairly quickly, and so I'm very, very happy with the profits that I pulled out. Now, yes, I did put on a small hedge, but I'm glad I positioned it exactly the way that I did, and I'm very, very happy with the way things that worked out. And as we can see, when we go look at the profit targets, actually, I can just pull open over here because I took the trade slightly before the candle closed. So the targets, my targets for the upside were 10,497, 10,920, and a final take profit target of 11,300. I've hit 2 of 3, and the long position remains open with the U19 contract that was closed a while ago. All right, actually, pretty much during the run up last night. So nothing really to do as far as that goes. There were a couple other positions that I put on last night, and actually just a while ago, I just kind of updated my trading sheet. You guys should see those because the public sheet only updates once every 8 hours. So you guys don't see just the completely public facing sheet that's public to everybody. That only gets updated every 8 hours just to save on data resources and the loop because we have a lot of servers running. So trades that we took last night, for example, Bcash ABC. That was a great trade, hit all 3 of our take profit targets. XRP M19, we were actually short on that, been short on that for a few days. We hit take profit 1, price came back out, price came back up, hit our break even stop loss. So that was a good profitable trade. And then ADA M19, we've been short on that for a few days. Last night on the spike, hit all 3 of our take profit targets and closed out. Not to say that on that spike is when we hit all three. We'd already hit several take profit targets, and that one just filled the last of our bags, and then price is kind of pulling back up. So we had a little bit of a pump across most of our Bitcoin pairings as we've been seeing them dump off. But then as Bitcoin's pulled back over the course of the day, back down to about 10,509 right now on the Bitstamp chart, we've seen some of the alt Bitcoin pairings pump up, whereas we've just been seeing them absolutely collapsing over the last few days, and the USDT pairings kind of being hit and miss. But last night we just had a huge surge from the USD and USDT pairings as well. EOS USD was another trade that we put onto the long side, and that's looking very good as well. So shout out to all you guys. For not only your support, but I just want to give a big shout out. Last night, I know a lot of people got off really big, made out like bandits. So just a huge shout out to you, because moments like this in the market are just absolutely fantastic. And Bitcoin, I don't want to take away from the import of what we're witnessing right now. I mean, Bitcoin at a very significant price level. You know, a lot of people, and I said this yesterday during the stream, if you guys will recall. If you don't believe, just go back and watch. I always say this. Everything I do is live. I've been doing this for 2 years, and the live stream anyways. And yesterday, people are like, hey man, where are we targeting for a reversal on Bitcoin? 10,000? It's a psychological level. I said, listen guys, I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin blow past 10,000. In fact, I'm probably going to bet on that. I did, and it did. So again, it has nothing to do with my ability to be right about anything. It's my system and my strategy that makes me a consistently profitable trader and be able to be a professional. It has nothing to do with, oh, I'm some kind of guru or psychic, right? The only thing that I'm a guru or the only thing that I'm a guru on is how to develop profitable strategies. And the way that I do that is with mathematics, is with back testing, and with rules, right? That's it. It's just my discipline. That is the only, that is the main, I don't want to say that's the only, but that is the biggest secret to my success, is discipline. That's all it is. People come into the market, people come to the stream all the time. They're like, should I buy or should I sell? Doesn't matter what I say. It matters, and it doesn't matter if you make money on this trade. I could tell you to buy, and then you buy and you make money, and you're like, oh, this dude's a genius. What's going to make you profitable like me is having a system and having a strategy and patiently following along with that. So for example, when I have to come here on the stream and say, hey guys, took a losing trade on this one, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because I just have to do what my system tells me. And if I just do that, because I put hundreds of hours into work into developing it, if I just do what my strategy tells me, even if that means losing trades once in a while, sometimes frequently, I just know that at the end of the year, I'll be able to keep doing this and living this lifestyle of being a professional trader, which I've done for quite a while. So. All right. How many people do I think yeah, Matt, what's going on, man? How many people do you think bought Bitcoin at 11,000? You know, a good amount, because a good amount of volume on this. And we have a big volume spike on this candle. And then this candle is just about to close here in about an hour and a half, and exactly the same thing. So we're about 30 minutes into the show. We've got to do the live. Chris S. Hey, don't feel it. Again, it's not the result of any one individual trade. It's the result of your trading results over time. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and talk about what we've got going on right now. Obviously, continuation long on the close of yesterday's candle. Do I recommend you taking the long now? No, I do not. That was a window in time, a moment in time, as our famous rapper Tupac said. I think that was also a Mary Shelley book. But anyways, I digress. Moving right along. Let's take a look at what our indicators are telling us. Obviously, we had Minx breaking above the static line yesterday, which was the signal for the continuation long trade. Of course, we got the original long trade back here on the 13th of June, but we talked about this. This was just an area in time where it's very difficult to catch this move. Minx on our strategy catching pretty much every single price appreciation bullish movement up until now, but just following the rules, this was a very difficult one to take, and that's okay, because we trade every crypto coin that is on our exchanges and not just Bitcoin. So we hold Bitcoin, been sitting in Bitcoin. I think that was A Wrinkle in Time. Madeline Engel. Yeah, I read that book when I was a kid. That was a good one. I think they made a pretty crappy movie about that recently. But again, every movie that comes out lately seems to suck. Last Jedi, just being a good example. Captain Marvel. Moving on. So back on the 12th of June is when I moved into Bitcoin, have not exited Bitcoin. I will still hold Bitcoin, and I will wait for Bitcoin to close below the daily baseline, because as you can see, there's really nothing that could happen right now to make me lose money. Let's say worst case scenario, price drops right now and closes below the baseline. I still will have made 12.82% on my USD alpha, on everything, on my USD holdings, just by dint of knowing when to sit in Bitcoin and when not to sit in Bitcoin. All right, so moving right along, let's go down to lower time frames and see if we had any signals that were generated. 12-hour generated continuation long last night at midnight, and actually, excuse me, not at midnight, sorry, not last night, but on the 20th of June at midnight, you'd have been riding that continuation long for a little bit. We talked about that probably being one of the best signals. You actually don't have an exit signal yet on the 12-hour chart. On the 8-hour chart, you are getting a take profit long signal from Minx and from RVGI. So both your fast exit indicator and your slow exit indicator are now firing on the 8-hour chart. So if you are trading the 8-hour time frame, it is time to get out of the trade. You would have been long right here on this continuation long signal from around 9,266. Somewhere in time, Christopher Reeves, very good movie. Awesome, my brother. And going over here to the 6-hour, we would have gotten another continuation long here, actually pretty high at midnight last night. You would have been able to, I don't want to guarantee anything. Yes, you would have hit take profit 1 on that trade, not quite take profit 2, and you would have got stopped out at break even. That's good. And now getting the now getting the signal to exit. Had you taken the continuation long back here around 9,184, going over to our very popular time frame, the 4-hour time frame, you would have gotten the latest continuation long on this candle right around 10,565. You would have hit 2 of 3 take profits, and you would have gotten told to get out right at the top, right here on the close of this candle. RVGI actually signaling for you to exit there as well. 15-minute time frame looking for our intraday trades has been nothing pretty much but a short. Of course, we're not trading against the dominant trend, but a short since about 1715 UTC. So as we're moving into the evening of Universal Time, things are signaling a short, but of course we won't do that because we are respecting the trend of the daily time frame. So nothing really to do except hold on to the position. Honestly, if you are trading the daily time frame, you have already hit 2 of 3 take profits, and your stop loss will now be at break even, and you are good to go. Moving right along, let's move over to Ethereum because we've got so much to talk about today, and I do want to look at other data sets as well and prepare for tonight's evening scan. Same thing, continuation long on Ethereum. Now, this was actually not a trade that I took. The risk to reward was greater on the Bitcoin trade. Let's see what actually ended up happening. Ethereum ended up running up about 6.43%, and Bitcoin, for me, was a more profitable trade. As we can see, let's go over to the Bitcoin chart, and we can see from close to high, we ran up a little over almost 10%, as you can see. So we actually had 3% more profit opportunity on the Bitcoin chart than Ethereum. Now, that doesn't always happen, but for whatever reason. And the reason was the volatility of this candle compared to the volatility of the Bitcoin candle. So I had already assumed, I was already banking on the fact that we were going to have another impulse move to the upside. That was why I took the long trade in the first place. But if you compare the girth of the Ethereum candle to the girth of the Bitcoin candle, the momentum, Ethereum just had less room to move than Bitcoin. So let's take a gander here. And again, all cylinders firing quite well. Regardless of what candle you wanted to take the signal on, you could have. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking the Ethereum trade or having taken the Ethereum trade. I just took the Bitcoin trade. And so either way was successful. The Bitcoin was the one we recommended, and trade is going beautifully right now. So here on the daily, continuation long, no exit signal. Let's go down to the 12-hour, see if the 12-hour is foreshadowing anything. The 12-hour is not telling us yet to get out of the trade, nor is RVGI. So both with our early exit system and our slow exit system, both are telling us to go ahead and hold the trade open. And of course, the 12-hour chart would have gotten you into a long down here around 268. Going over to the 8-hour time frame, again, we talked about the long signal over here. The 8-hour actually would not have gotten you into this trade. Let's see here, maybe 1, 2, 3. Maybe you take it here, but I doubt it. Yeah, honestly, there's just no good trade there on the 8-hour time frame. 6-hour did give you a continuation long here that would have been valid right around 271, so that would have been a good entry. And now the 6-hour is telling you to go ahead and get out of your position. Everything's actually telling you to get out. RVGI, Minx, Wadatar, volume, everything's telling you to get out actually on the 6-hour time frame. And going down to the 4-hour time frame, we got a continuation long down here, right around the same price, around that 272 price, and we got told to get out pretty much right here at the top of the market, which was quite nice. RVGI actually getting us out one candle later at a better price. So and intraday, of course, nothing but shorting activity going on pretty much for the last, I want to say, about 4 hours. So All right, so nothing to do right now except hold those positions open from yesterday. And if you wanted to bet against the market, I wouldn't say that you're dumb. This big volume spike at the end often does foreshadow the market exiting. So for example, when you see a volume spike like this, so back on the 15th of May, we basically had the top of the market and we had a lot of consolidation followed by a failure to achieve. So we had our highs cleared and liquidity grabbed. And this is the moment where everybody really should have banked on a reversal. In fact, I took a short trade down here that was fairly unsuccessful, but I digress, and then got back into Bitcoin. Excuse me, this is Ethereum, but got back into Bitcoin around here on the 12th, actually, 12th of June, 11th of June, my bad. And I've been riding that ever since. Same for Ethereum, same for my Ethereum spot holdings on Bybit. You'd have to hold the underlying. Same with EOS, same for Ripple, but in their own rights and in their own dates. Feel like I'm missing something here, or something's just being slow. David Mice, I've mispronounced your name before, so David, I apologize because I know you've corrected me before, but the daily, I trade on the daily time frame. Terry Black, man, thank you so much for the $2 donation, my good friend. He says, do you use my 21 Bitcoin net security protocols? I do not. I follow my own security protocols. RVGI is a stock indicator, my good friend. You can find it on the TradingView. RVGI, Relative Vigor Index. The indicator that I use is not on TradingView because it is Python. It is written in Python, and I am having trouble writing it in TradingView. Someone's skeptic tank needs to be cleaned out. Let's see here. Okay, so again, as exciting as the day is, there's really not a whole lot to do right now, guys. Listen. I'm not going to take the reversal trade. I'm not going to bet against the market. I'm not going to short the farm. I would not be surprised if that wouldn't be a profitable trade. So what I will do, however, is sit in Bitcoin until we close below the baseline. I will sit in Bitcoin until I get a signal to exit Bitcoin, which would be closing below the baseline. I will sit in my long position until I get now stopped out at break even. And I will sit in Bitcoin, or I will sit in my position until I get a signal to exit the trade, for example. So until either of those things happen, I won't be doing anything right now. Leroy Jenkins, I got IGNIS down there, man. Don't worry, brother. I will absolutely get to it, man. I promise. We do the show the same time, the same way, every single day, my good friend. We do Bitcoin, we do Ethereum, we do S&Ps, we do E-minis, metals, commodities, oils, Forex. We take a break, we go over news, and then we look at user-submitted chart requests. Pablo Escobar, thank you so much for the comment over there. Algo BTC, yeah, sure, my good friend. Gotcha, Alex. Okay, because we've got a daily scan to do as well, we're going to have to kind of move quickly through stuff. And you know what? To be quite honest with you guys, we don't. We can just do the show the regular way. I've already updated. I already have a good idea of what positions I'm going to take. So I think that we'll just do the regular show. And then when the show is over, we'll do all the trading. I think that's the best. Idea. Okay, so having said that, let's get right on into our traditional markets, our Forex and our metals, just to see how the week closed out and get an idea for what we would be doing on Monday. So let's get right on over here into our user-submitted chart requests, our main diversified chart layout. And we're going to start off with our CFD. Let's look at how the S&P 500 closed there on Friday. And the S&P closing with a little bit of a pullback here on the 20th. So actually having a nice closing price of $29.43 here on the candle. Of course, this is the CFD for the indice on Awanda. Okay, so not an asset I can actually trade because CFDs are banned to Americans. However, blockchain gains, good to see you, man. Not a problem, Leroy. Thank you so much for joining us every day. Hank, that's like the 9th time I think somebody's asked that. When will time transformation be available for us? It's possible that I might make that indicator public, but so many of the premium members do utilize it for a different thing. And listen, guys, it took me a long time to make that. So I do like to keep what I make proprietary. But, however, do not fret, because I have heard the requests and I am going to make my own version of the Fisher Transform Indicator, which was the genesis of time transformation itself. It is different. It utilizes a different application of the Fisher Transform algorithm to transform price action and analyze overbought and oversold levels. So I will make a modified version of the Fisher Transform that will be close, not quite, but close to what time transformation does without a lot of the bells and whistles. And I will make that indicator public to use just to CC EMA and Ichimoku and Wadatar Explosion. So looking at the S&P 500, we did get a continuation long over here on the 17th of June, 2019 when that candle closed. So we would still be riding that trade. Let's take a gander here. Hitting 1 of 3 take profits so far on that trade. Stop loss at break even and just patiently waiting. I wouldn't be surprised to see this kind of open negatively, pull back down to the qualifying line as we see things do. Excuse me. You can actually see, interestingly enough, the interplay between price action and the qualifying line for you guys utilizing Quadriga ATR. Now, I don't recommend you actually do anything about that. It's just something interesting to note that potentially a strategy can be built upon. So continuation long here on the S&P 500. And actually, if you look down here at RVGI, we already got the cross under a while back from the initial long signal over here. So long signal here. And on that same candle where we get a continuation long, we would be exiting our primary trade. S. Jikes, thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch. Welcome to the community, my good friend. Thanks for watching. So we actually would have been exiting our S&P CFD trade to the long side on that same candle where we got a continuation long. And nothing really makes me happier. So you take profit on your primary trade, you open up your continuation long, and now because RVGI has crossed under, you know what? You have to rely on your fast exit indicator, in which case this hasn't told you to get out either. And we know that our fast indicator is super sensitive. So that not telling us to get out is a good indication that we just need to hold our ground and stay in the trade regardless of what happens. However, at this point in time, we're in a no-loss situation. We've already hit take profit 1. We've adjusted our stop loss to break even, and there's nothing that can happen. There's nothing that can happen to make us fail. Yeah, the more public an indicator or strategy becomes, the less effective it is. That's absolutely correct. Matt Dandurand, sure, let's take a look at ZERP, man. Throwing that in there, my good friend. XRP, BTC, M19, USDT. Okay, so continuing on, let's go look at our metals. And Zao, interestingly enough, Zao closed. And we're going to, listen, guys, stay tuned because we've got a lot of you guys ask a lot of questions about crypto taxation. And I've got a lot to say about crypto taxation today based on what the IRS is doing. So we're going to peel off the mask and talk about how crypto is really taxed. Looking over here at Zao on Awanda, again, we got a continuation long back here on Zao, and gold has just been absolutely booming. Our precious metal trades have been absolutely fantastic. Dances reluctantly, where are you going? We're just getting started. So continuation long over here on Zao, which we continue to ride. Actually, I'm sorry, we've hit three of 3 take profits, so we're waiting for a pullback to re-enter into a gold long trade. Palladium, we would have exited Palladium either early here or late here because we're now getting the exit signal. We got the exit signal on Friday. So I would be exiting your Palladium precious metal trades to the upside, weighted against the dollar. ZAG, so looking at silver to the upside, got a continuation long over here. We've hit 3. Just on Friday, hit our 3rd take profit target on that, so we are fully out in profit on our silver trade. Platinum continues to be an absolutely do-nothing trade. Wally, man, you are making it rain today, my good friend. Thank you so much for the $2, man. Bitcoin Neo on Binance, please. I got you, man. Thank you so much. Let's throw that down, man. Okay. And gold to silver. Gold to silver, we got the continuation long on Thursday. We talked about this and taking the trade, waking up to take profit 1, moving your stop loss to break even. Absolutely beautiful. Let's see how bullish Bentley crude is going on. Again, if you guys recall, I was bullish on this on Thursday. Friday closed very good. We haven't hit take profit 1 on our Bentley trade yet, but everything looks really good. I'm very bullish on crude oil right now, guys. Corn continues to be a do-nothing trade, as well as the rest of our commodities for the most part. Natural gas, however, does remain a strong short. We got a continuation short over here on the 18th, remains to the downside. Soybeans and sugar, both are do-nothing trades. Actually, excuse me, I'm sorry. Sugar did close as a short, and one of the things that I did comment on yesterday was, did this close above the qualifying line? It did not. It closed below, so we do have to wait for a pullback. So sugar on Monday, wait for that pullback to the upside and then take it to the downside. West Texas oil, again, I was bullish on this when we got the long signal over here on the 18th. So same thing on Wednesday, and you get to wake up to this. So West Texas oil doing absolutely fantastic. And wheat, just like corn and soybeans, is an absolutely do nothing trade. Don't do anything with it. We went over the S&P 500. I do want to look at 10-year Treasury bonds. 10-year Treasury bonds continue to look very bullish. I'm not betting against Treasury bonds at this point in time. So make sure that you guys are... I'm very bullish on traditional markets right now, guys. Very, very bullish. So let's go ahead and take a look over. Same thing. If we go ahead and look at our E-mini futures, looking at the NQ, would have gone long actually over here. And beautiful continuation long over here just a few days ago on the 17th. We talked about this as well. Taking price absolutely to the upside. Now, market is closed. So when we open up, again, I'm expecting more bullish activity from the NQ, the S&P 500, and of course the Dow Jones itself. Got a continuation long over here. I've already hit 2 of 3 take profits on all those trades. Again, we talked about this on the NQ for E-mini futures. Got the long signal between the 6th and the 7th on all those pairs. Here it is on the S&P on the 5th, so a day earlier. Here it is over here on the Dow on the 5th, okay? So long on the Dow, long on the S&P, long on the NASDAQ between the 5th and the 6th, riding those long, and then additional continuation longs just 3 days ago, okay? Just 3 days ago on the close of the candle. And again, just taking this to the upside. Traditional markets have given so much to any trader following the PTP system. Same over here on the Russell 1000. Here's our initial long signal. No continuation long, but we've hit 3 of 3 take profits on that. VIX looked very, very good at the close. 15.40, creeping back up into that beautiful volatility. And if we go over and look at gold commodities, continues to absolutely boom. I talked about taking a long on the 19th. Again, another continuation long. You got to wake up to 2 gaps. What more do you guys want? This is beautiful. Markets are great. If you're not trading right now, I don't know what the hell you're doing with your life. All right. Going over and looking at our major Forex pairs, as we always do, looking at the Aussie Yen. We talked about the short trade on this a while ago. Actually, we talked about the last time we talked about the Aussie Yen. We talked about yesterday taking profits on the Aussie Yen trade. Didn't really close very volatilely, but that's okay. Bob the Builder, good to see you, brother. Do I know where to trade avocados? KC for real. Well, thank you, man. That is you. You do realize there's over 1,000 other people watching. But yeah, man. So one of the secrets to our success, again, is not only just trading one thing. It's looking at the entire global economic spectrum. Okay, so looking at the Aussie Yen, again, we talked about exiting that position. The Aussie dollar. We haven't gotten a long signal on the Aussie dollar yet. So, but watch the Aussie dollar. I'm going to be watching the Aussie dollar on the open come Monday. CAD Swissy. We talked about the CAD Swissy actually just a couple days ago. Now, we did get a continuation long that we would not have taken, which is good. So if we look really closely here, continuation long on this candle, but we had closed below the baseline, which invalidates continuation trades. And we got a short far below the qualifying line. So watch the CAD Swissy for a pullback actually come Monday. CAD Yen got a long signal here. And again, that's just a losing trade, but that's good because we do lose very few pips by just exiting early on that trade. Swissy Yen. Swissy Yen, we talked about, we talked about this on Friday. Swissy Yen gave a long signal, but we're too far above the qualifying line. There's actually, I'd say about 3 or 4 Forex pairs that we're just kind of late to the party on getting into the long, and that's okay. So we'll just reevaluate, wait for the pullback on those pairs as we should. We don't jump into trades that we shouldn't take. Euro Aussie got a beautiful trade over here. Got a beautiful trade over here. Hit 3 of 3 take profit targets and nice pullback to the daily baseline for those wanting to take a reversal trade. And the Euro CAD, keep your eyes on this one. That's a beautiful fuck you candle. That is manipulation by the big banks. But we'll take a look here real closely, guys. We'll keep our eyes on it. Soldier, and Miguel Ortiz Diaz. Thank you guys so much for the subscriptions over there on YouTube. Welcome to the community, guys. Nothing going on in the Euro Swissy, the Euro Kiwi, nothing to do. The Euro Pound, nothing to do really here as well, but it continues to give back. Now, we did get a potential reversal trade, but we did close below the baseline, so there's really nothing to do here in my estimation. The Euro Yen, again, that's a big manipulation fuck you candle, but just watch the Euro Yen closely. I do actually expect bullishness against yen pairs. Euro Dollar giving a long signal above the qualifying line, so we're going to wait for the pullback. The Pound Kiwi, nothing to do, just utter consolidation. As you can see, we're just getting chopped up right now, and that's good because WADA and volume mostly keeping us out of trades. And the Pound CAD, nothing to do yet. Actually, you could probably take the Pound CAD short. Let's look at that very closely. Continuation short. Did we get a continuation short on the previous candle? No. We could probably take that short on the pullback. Pound Aussie, continuation long on Thursday, good trade. And the Pound Swissy, which I think is probably going to be the last Forex pair we look at. Actually, we've got some time before we go to break. So I think here in 2 minutes, we're going to look at just a few more Forex pairs, and then we'll look at Neo BTC for you, Wally. And then we'll go to break, and then we'll come right back. We'll do our news, and then we'll do user-submitted chart requests. Pound Yen, again, nothing to do right here. Pound Dollar is finally shaping up to be a long. So the Pound Dollar I do have confidence in and a long. The Kiwi Dollar, again, I do feel bullish about. The Kiwi CAD, I don't feel bullish about. The Kiwi Swissy, I feel very, very bearish about. Again, we got a continuation short on Friday. That's a trade that we can take. And the Kiwi Yen, exiting our position, if I do believe so. Yes, exiting the short position that we would have taken over here a few days ago. Yes, actually on Wednesday. So, and that's good because just 2 days of absolute chop. And look what happened on Thursday. We wicked all the way back up to the baseline. Dollar Canadian, nothing to do yet. We would have gone short on this candle. Got to wake up to all these pips. And the Dollar Swissy short on this candle and absolutely just killing it on the Dollar Swissy. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. Dollar Yen, continuation short on Wednesday, waking up to all these pips. And the last one I want to look at is the Dollar Yuan. And short trade finally on the Dollar Yuan, which was verified. And look at all these pips that we get from the Dollar Yuan. Great trade. Finally, I was waiting. I was talking about taking a short trade on the Yuan for a while, and finally it signaled and we got the trade. All right, so breaking that down, let's get off these lower time frames. That is for suicidal individuals. And we'll go to Neo BTC for you, Wally. Thank you so much for the $2, my good friend. Let's take a gander here. Now, listen. Yeah, Bitcoin pairings actually putting in a good amount of work. And look at those big volume spikes, guys. So what I'm going to wait and see is, does this develop into a strong trend? Now, if we look at WADA-ATAR, of course, WADA-ATAR is signaling an early entry into the trade. Now, WADA-ATAR is our more sensitive entrance indicator. Minx is less sensitive, meaning it keeps you out of bad trades. It keeps you out of bad trades for the most part, especially when you pair it with WADA-ATAR, excuse me. Now, this is just one of these types of trades, these big, huge pump candles, are not typically trades that we catch or take. When we get on the right side of the market, however, so for example, that is a reversal trade. Let's just be very clear about this. This type of price, and I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me, but this type of price appreciation is a reversal trade. So individuals that bought low got to wake up to a big surprise. And reversal traders are going to, from time to time, catch beautiful trades like this. Most of the time, they don't. Most of the time, reversal traders buy, and then price continues to go lower, or price goes up a little bit, and then it goes lower, or it just goes sideways, and then it dumps lower, or it goes sideways, and they sell, and then price goes up. Most reversal traders are not continuing to trade after a year or two. Generally, actually, after 6 months is the statistical failure rate for reversal traders. However, as a non-reversal trader, I am a trend-following trader. So the trades that I attempt to catch are these trades right here, are these trades right here, is this trade right here, and this is a losing trade. So there's nothing in my strategy that will generally let me catch trades like this, and that's okay, because these are not my trades. These trades were not designed for my system, and that's okay. Because if you're going to pick a system, you have to pick an edge in the market. Picking an edge in the market means you're going to have to give up some trades. So if you want to be a reversal trader, you're not going to be trend follower. The problem with reversal trading, at least psychologically to me, is that when I see price going up, I get bullish and I want to buy. I want to buy pullbacks. Whereas when people typically see price going up, they want to short it, and they typically get burned. However, Wally, I know you crush it in all aspects of life, so big shout out to you, man. You probably made a couple million on this. I don't think the market cap's that high, but moving on. Now, I will point out that if we look at where Minx is right now, pretty far below the baseline, this is just going to take some consolidation for Minx to catch up. Generally, this is probably going to take at least a day or two unless we put in another massive candle. That would push Minx above, but if we put in another massive candle, we'll be above the qualifying line. So again, risk management keeping us out of that trade. Let's actually plot this for longs. And we can see we're above the qualifying line right now. So on a trade like this, just based on price action, I would look for a pullback. Let's actually see. Let's look at price action and see where price went to. All right, so we do have resistance in the form of our liquidity right here. And where does our wick go? Directly above our highs, and then reverses. So let's actually see where we close in relation to our order block. So if we did want to do order block analysis, where's the last up candle for a shift in market structure? Of course, it is right here, coming in between not 1617 and not 1605. So I would be looking at that area. That would be your pullback area where you would want to trade. Should that not pan out, where would you be looking? Well, you would most likely be looking at this area right here for a bullish order block, because this is another area that, as you can see, was bullish initiation. This is when buyers stepped in and pushed the market up here. Then we got closed below, as you can see on the very next candle. Let's zoom in here. So once we close below the bullish order block, price back tests that area as resistance, and then we just drop out of the market until somebody, a big buyer, a huge limit order really, bought up all the panic sellers right here, and then just, I mean, that's a huge market buy, to be quite honest with you. That's a lot of market buying that is just fueling. And honestly, a lot of the coins, a lot of the BTC pairings are pumping right now, and I'm not surprised to see that. You can see Bitcoin pumping, all these coins bled out, and now NEO, one of the biggest earners against them, honestly. That's a beautiful candle, 18.39% in a single day. So shout out to anybody who capitalized on that trade. And the two pullback areas I would be watching for, or not 1617, not 1605, wouldn't let it get much far below that. You don't want to see it close on whatever time frame you're trading. So whether it's the 4 hour or the hourly or the 30, whatever. The other area, should that fail, is not 1439. Excuse me, not 1493, not 1489. Okay, guys, it is 5:59 on the hour, so we've got to go to break. Before we go, guys, before we do go to break, I do want to say something very important, and to remember what that important thing is, I need to roll up here. So if you guys are tired of getting wicked out of your position on BitMEX, if you are trading on BitMEX and you're looking for a better exchange, if you're curious about where I and the rest of the team trade and you'd like to trade where we trade on Bybit. It is the exchange that I like. I have reviewed every single cryptocurrency exchange out there as far as trading futures contracts, as far as actually holding your underlying asset. There are lots of boxes that exchanges need to check for me. That is reliability, that is customer service, and actually the boxes that exchanges need to check are security, customer service, and ease of use. Okay, I would rank order any exchange that I use, just like rank ordering a computer or a product that I want to buy. Bybit checks all those boxes for me. They have fantastic customer service, and again, you guys can use whatever exchange you want, but if you are curious about the exchange that I use and that I promote, that would be Bybit, because that is where I trade. I don't like BitMEX. I think that they do some very BS shenanigans over there, some actual market manipulation over there that you do not see on Bybit. So if you are tired of BitMEX and you want a better alternative, check out Bybit. You can use our link, bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. It supports the show, and you can also participate in our trading competition. So Bybit was kind enough to promote and sponsor a trading competition for us. There is going to be a prize for not all entrants in the competition, but if you guys want to stack up against me and the rest of the guys in the group, even if you don't like the show and you think you're better traders than us and you're going to show this dude what's up, then sign up for our link, deposit 0.05 BTC, and show me you're a better trader. Win a reward and prove me wrong. So that's bybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com. If you want to participate in the trading competition, get a hold of me in the Discord at JustinWise5696 or email at contact@crackingcryptocurrency.com. Send me your user ID and we'll add you to the leaderboard. So best of luck to everybody. That competition starts, I believe, on Monday. So I'll get a hold of you guys and let you know. Moving right along, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got some fantastic news to go over for you guys. We're going to talk about cryptocurrency taxation and the real truth behind the mask. We're going to talk about Russia adopting crypto legislation. We're going to talk about Apple making huge steps towards security and cryptocurrency adoption. And we're also going to talk about one other thing. We're going to talk about Coinbase, a little bit of Coinbase news. And then we're going to get into your user submitted chart requests. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes. And we're back, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there and for the support. So we've got some great news for you guys today. Let's break right into this. And of course, the first story today is, of course, coming directly from us. U.S. traders beware. The IRS prepares notices after identifying crypto tax evaders. So we're going to briefly touch on the meat of this article, and then we're going to peel the masks away on understanding cryptocurrency taxation, because it's very important that you guys understand. So let's just look at this article, what they're saying. So this article is saying that U.S. citizens who have failed to report their income from crypto transactions or underreported income now have every reason to worry. According to Bloomberg, the IRS has identified a couple of taxpayers who underreported their earnings from crypto income or completely failed to report such earnings. Taxpayers who have been identified can now expect to receive notices in the near future, okay? So the IRS has stated that they are now moving into auditing their back cases. So the Small Business Self-Employed Division, whose commissioner is Mary Beth Murphy has said that they are now teaming with the what is it? It's the larger body that handles the larger businesses. They're teaming up to start going through the backlog. So if you've been evading your crypto taxes, you're probably not going to have a good time. This show has always been extremely consistent in following the law and following the rules and warning people against, as we always do, short-term gains versus long-term profitability. So this is just a public service announcement. If you have been withholding your earnings from the IRS, you're going to have a bad time. Let me just get into what I want to talk about as far as how IRS treats cryptocurrency and what you need to do to protect yourself against legislation. So according to the official, and to go over this, I'm just going to go back to the cryptocurrency charts. So according to the IRS official guidance on crypto taxation, crypto is treated as property. Cryptocurrency is taxed as property. It doesn't matter whether it's Bitcoin or whether it's the shilliest ICO coin possibly out there. It is all property, regardless of security laws from the SEC, by the IRS standards, and according to their official guidance, cryptocurrency is property, meaning it's a fancy way to say that cryptocurrency is taxed just like a stock, So and that's good, actually, relative to how it could be taxed. So that means that if you buy Bitcoin and sell it within 1 year of buying it, you're going to pay short-term capital gains tax. You can just refer to the federal guidelines for what that number is based on your tax bracket, right? Now, if you buy and hold Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency for more than 1 year, so just literally a year and 1 day, you're only going to pay long-term capital gains tax, which depending on your tax bracket is actually not that bad compared to what you could pay as far as taxation goes. So ideally, for an investor, taxation is always going to be much better if you buy and hold for a year or more. So for a short-term trader, you need to factor taxation into your earnings reports. That's something that we do. And if you have alpha, you are outperforming the market, i.e. taxation should not be holding your crypto trading down, but just make sure that you're factoring that into your bottom line. Now, for federal taxes, that means for your long-term capital gains, you will be paying 15% tax federal on any gain. State tax is going to be dependent upon your local jurisdiction, unless you make more than about $450,000. I think it's like $430,000 for individuals, $480,000 for couples. In which case, if you do make that much money, then instead of 15% long-term capital gains tax, you're going to pay 20%. So if you buy and hold cryptocurrency for more than a year, you're going to pay 15% tax on any profit, okay, on any profit. If you hold it for less than a year, you're going to pay the short-term capital gains tax. That depends on your tax bracket. Now, this actually compares, and I know that sounds like a big number, but compared to how other assets and commodities are taxed, that's actually really, really favorable. So, for example, gold is taxed as a collectible. That means no matter how long you hold gold, when you sell it, you are taxed at 28%. And that's true whether you're selling physical gold or a gold exchange traded fund like GLD that trades on the CBOE. So wrapping physical gold in an exchange traded fund and an ETF does not protect you from the tax man. So we can already see there, cryptocurrency actually are more favorable tax-wise than gold. Now, currency taxes. Currency trading. Currency is taxed at regular income rates. So this is a common misconception. So no matter how long you hold it, no matter how long you hold foreign currencies, when you sell it, you are taxed for long-term, or excuse me, no matter how long you hold it, you will never qualify for just the long-term capital gains tax. It doesn't matter if you hold currency for a year or longer. You're going to pay regular income tax. Instead, you're going to pay your marginal income tax rate, and that can be up to 37% for federal taxes, man. That could be up to 37% on your taxes. Now, let's talk about something that interests all of you, okay? Actually, hold on. We'll get to that in a second. Just hold on to that idea. Commodity futures. So commodity futures and exchange traded funds that hold commodity futures baskets. So this is going to be things like sugar, corn, soybeans, any commodity futures, right? If you're trading commodity futures, which I do, so oil, corn, sugar, soybeans, whatever, those are called Section 1256. Section 1256 I can't remember what the word is, but Section 1256 for tax purposes. And that means that 60% of your profits are taxed at long-term capital gains tax, which is good, and 40% is taxed at short-term capital gains tax, which is actually pretty bad. So you're going to be paying a blended tax rate. Now, that can be up to like 26.8% if you're in the highest tax brackets, slightly less if you're in the lower tax brackets. But the worst thing about commodity futures is that they are marked to market is what that means. So what marked to market means is that at the end of the year, you pay taxes on your paper profits, regardless of whether you've sold or not. So you don't sell, you're not taxed based on what you actually have pulled out of the market when you sell. You are taxed on your profit on paper for any trades that are held open on top of all your taxation for all your trades previously in the year. So this is why commodity trading in futures has fallen off and really is a rich man's game. That's why I always look at the CFDs on a Wanda, because CFDs do not carry that kind of taxation requirement. But if you're getting on a regular exchange and trading commodity futures, so if you're getting on SIBO or anything like that, anything that's going to trade actual, real, for sure commodity futures or commodity futures ETFs, you're getting hosed. You're getting absolutely hosed because Section 1256 absolutely sucks. Because it's not the 60%, 40% blended tax rate. That's actually bad, but not too bad. It's better than currency, for example. But it's the marked to market. So it's the fact that they force you to pay taxes on your profits on paper. So they don't let you wait and close out your trade. That would be like, so just so you understand that would be like if on December 31st or at the end of the fiscal year, whatever it is, you were charged, if you had like a whole bunch of positions open, you're like, well, I'm going to hold these for years. You get charged on them. You're paying taxes on all that potential profit. And then price reverses and you don't actually make that much profit. Doesn't matter. You paid your taxes. So that the mark to market is what really, really kills you on Section 1256. So now, now this is what is important to everybody watching the show. Let's talk about Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures are classified as, guess what? Section 1256. So if you are trading Bitcoin futures in the United States legally, so that's CME, that's Kraken, that's wherever you happen to be trading Bitcoin futures legally, you are being taxed for Section 1256 and you are in marked to market territory. Okay, that means at the end of the year, you are going to be paying taxes on your paper profits, regardless of whether you've closed the trade out and regardless of whether you close the trade out in profit in its totality. Now, is this bullshit? Absolutely. And it is one other way in which markets are manipulated. Commodity markets are some of the most manipulated markets in the world. Why? Because commodities are absolutely essential for human beings to survive. Currency markets are absolutely manipulated by the big banks. Precious metal markets are manipulated by central banks because they do not want precious metals actually acting as a better currency transaction or medium of exchange across the world, that central banks want to regain their tyranny and control over the world, as well as the governments that they're in cahoots with. And that is why the Bitcoin futures markets are being used to manipulate the price of Bitcoin, just as they have manipulated the price of commodities and precious metals and everything else for the entirety of the world, because that is how central banks run things. It's not just the legislation, it is the taxation. Taxation has always been used as a club, as a weapon against individuals. It is used as a club against the poor. It is used as a club against the rich. It is used as a club behind the people who have the power and the government and the central banks that they collude with. So this is the truth. So TLDR for cryptocurrency trading. As it sits right now, your cryptocurrency is taxed like a stock. That's actually a really good thing, okay? That means that if you hold crypto for less than a year, you're going to pay short-term capital gains tax. Refer to the IRS rules for that. If you hold for a year or longer, you pay long-term capital gains tax. It's about 15%. It's actually the most favorable taxation possible from a spot trading perspective, from a certain point of view. And if you're trading futures contracts legally, you're getting hosed because you're paying Section 1256, a blended tax rate, and paying every year marked to market. So for this reason, that is why I trade offshore my Bitcoin futures. That's why I trade on things like Bybit. And of course, the link's in the description if you want to do that as well. Now, I highly advise everyone to contact a professional, a licensed CPA with experience in cryptocurrency taxation to settle their tax debt at the end of the fiscal year. That is what I do. I do not claim to be a tax expert, so do not take anything that I just said as fiat or true. You could just absolutely forget it. And the information that I have just shared with you, that is my understanding from my research and from my experience as a professional trader who has had to deal with this year after year. Again, let me make that full disclaimer. I don't do my own taxes. I hire a professional who does it for me, and so should you, because everybody's like, well, I don't want to hire a CPA. It's going to be expensive. The money that you're going to save by just doing it right overweighs the money that you could lose by getting on the wrong side of the IRS, because there's a lot of fucking idiots out there on crypto Twitter and around the world, especially in cryptocurrency, who want to treat the IRS like a nobody, okay? They're like, well, the IRS, they just go after poor people. They're so understaffed. Okay. They're dumb, all right? The IRS is a nobody until they get you in their targets. If you don't have to worry about the IRS when they're not worrying about you, but guarantee when the IRS knows who you are and wants to audit you, they will screw your life up. The IRS has the power to fine you, throw you in jail, fine you unbelievable amounts of money, by the way, seize your assets, freeze your funds, completely, absolutely obliterate you with the iron club of the government. Do not be a lemming and treat your funds and yourself with respect with what you do. All right, guys. So just something very, very important to talk about there. Okay, now let's go to our next little tidbit of news. Okay, I think I've got it here. For some reason I'm having trouble. Okay, so here we go. So obviously Peter Schiff, we all know Peter Schiff. He is the leader of Schiff Gold. It used to be Euro Pacifico Capital Waka something. Anyways, he's a gold shill. He's a gold bug. I like Peter Schiff. I love his podcast. A lot of people, I hired my pro to beat my butt today after 45 holes, 40 in. Got a flight. Only a case of shanties. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, brother. All right, so Peter Schiff is responding to Bitcoin supporters flooding his Twitter with news that Bitcoin has broken impressive price levels, saying, yeah. So, but gold is just in the beginning of its bull run, because gold has been in a massive bull trend for a while anyways. Not as long as Bitcoin, but he says gold is just gearing up and Bitcoin is a sucker's rally. Now, while most of us, obviously, who are watching the show are going to disagree with Mr. Schiff, and we know his obvious bias toward gold due to the nature of his company, we do have an interesting target generated from this article. So if we scroll down here a little bit, it says here, so Schiff gets the last laugh, Bitcoin market cap will not reach gold. And this author says that while Peter Schiff is almost certainly wrong about Bitcoin and his bearish beliefs related to the crypto asset, he may end up having the last laugh over crypto investors. So he says, going forward, we'll be keeping an eye on this chart. This is Dave the Wave over on Twitter. He says that highly doubt Bitcoin will ever reach the market cap of gold. Based on the principle of logarithmic growth curve, a Bitcoin could reach 100 gold ounces. In terms of scarcity and supply, it would have to reach something like 430 ounces a bar for market caps to be at parity, i.e. 430 ounces per Bitcoin for the market caps to be at parity based on supply and scarcity. So, he does see, now according to this, he does see, Dave the Wave does actually see us reaching 100 gold ounces, but that would not be close to parity. So what is interesting is that based on this, we do have a target, right? So that number is around $350,000 US per Bitcoin. So if we reach that number, if one Bitcoin is worth $350,000, then we will be at parity with the gold market cap. So we now have a target, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pamp it. All right, moving on to other news. And this is pretty big, especially for those of us who are technology nerds out there, okay? I sound a little different today, more AM than FM. Maybe it's because it's the weekend, brother. So Apple's iPhone is taking its first steps into Bitcoin and crypto, okay? So Apple announced the iPhone Crypto Kit yesterday at its Worldwide Developers Conference, running all week in Cupertino, allowing developers to implement hashing, key generation, and crypto exchange, as well as encryption on iOS apps and replacing Apple's previous framework, Common Crypto. So Thank you so much, SC2Dark, for the follow over there on Twitch, man. Welcome to the community, and thank you for joining us. So, quote, for the first time, developers can leverage the secure enclave to manage a user's keys in an iPhone, achieving a similar level of security to hardware wallets. Apple already had a cryptography framework called Common Crypto that did many of the things that CryptoKit does. But CryptoKit is good news for Swift developers, but it's not the game changer people in the Ethereum community would like it to be. Now, while this doesn't necessarily mean that iPhones will be supporting crypto payments out of the gate, like, for example, when the new iOS 13 is released later this year, however, it does mean the initial groundwork is starting to be laid. So very often, technology has not been taken seriously and put into widespread retail manufacturing until Apple has decided to bless the new tech, all right? So for many years... for example, individuals like even I paid at Walgreens with NFC. The tap to pay app, right? Where you just put the NFC, where you put your phone up against the thing. I do that every day. And even a couple times at Macy's, for example. So these were the only two players in town that supported this at the credit terminal. So it blew their minds every day. They're like, what? How do you do that? Oh, you just put your phone up against the NFC and you tap it? And like, yeah, of course, man. And, I'd start to explain how NFC works and then stop when their eyes glazed over, So as soon as, so keep that in mind. Tap to pay, NFC was a thing for years. Okay. And nobody in mainstream cared about it or did anything with NFC until Apple put it as stock on their phones. And now everybody uses NFC. Apple Pay, Android Pay, it's all tap to pay, right? Starbucks has it, Best Buy, Costco, Chick-fil-A, Dunkin' Donuts, Foot Locker, The Gap, KFC, yada, the list goes on, and I think you get the point, right? So the fact is the technology existed. There's nothing groundbreaking about this. But when Apple makes a move in the space, blessing a technology essentially and incorporating it into their iOS, that's when things start to blow up. A good example there is NFC. The same with wireless chargers, right? Even though Apple dropped the ball on producing the AirPad, this support in iPhone caused a huge surge in available wireless chargers in stores for even Android consumers to purchase. Wireless charging was a thing for a long, long time before Apple even incorporated it, but nobody cared until Apple actually incorporated it into iOS. So, if we ever hope to have cryptocurrency payments with phones integrated and a thing, like a regular thing at stores, just like NFC tap to pay, unfortunately, we will have to beg Apple to support it, just going off historical examples, right? So, well, good news. It seems they may not be able to choose, they may not choose to be as late into this game as they have before on so many different technologies, as we talked about with wireless charging, for example. So, Apple has lost their lead innovator a while ago now, that's Steve Jobs. They quickly became a safe play until the very last minute for a new technology to mature before adding it. So will they try to summon the innovation glory of the late Mr. Jobs with crypto payments? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But regardless, however you feel about Apple and the iOS, of course, I'm Team Android myself. Again, I think the historical evidence proves for itself that we do not have... that we don't really see widespread adoption of a technology until Apple blesses it. So, moving right along as well, Coinbase is launching mobile push alerts for crypto price swings, and that's just a fancy way to say that if you have the Coinbase app on your phone, you now no longer have to have really another app on your phone. If you like the way that Coinbase is doing it, you can get mobile push notifications for price changes, price targets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, something that they didn't have before. So if you are using the Coinbase app, I have it on my phone, I don't really use it. I use TabTrader, I use TradingView. But if you are using Coinbase, you now can just use Coinbase for that purpose. So go around and play with that. It's just nice to see increased user friendliness from our favorite apps. Now, our last little bit of news that we're going to go over before we get into your user-submitted chart requests is Russia adopting cryptocurrency laws in 2 weeks. So the Russian Ministry of Finance, actually, let me scroll up. That was the previous one. So Russia to adopt crypto legislation within 2 weeks, a deputy finance minister says. Now, they have already approved legislation for ICOs. So they have two different legislations. They have the crypto bill on digital financial assets, or the DFA. So this is going to be approved by the State Duma, and they have already approved or said that they've approved ICO legislation in a separate bill, which is the crowdfunding legislation. So we talked about last week, Russia potentially legalizing cryptocurrency trading in the first place. And as a country that I am bullish on economically, so let me state that in no uncertain terms, economically, I am bullish on Russia. So get yourself some Russian rubles. Buckle up. I think this is just a great step for them. I think that Russia is a country that gets it. Regardless of how you feel about it doesn't matter how you feel about the country socially, politically, whatever. Economically, they get it. They have a large reserve of oil. They have a large reserve of natural resources. They haven't even really begun to kind of get their head around like how to properly leverage that. They've just been trying to focus. You know, they've been dealing with the fallout of communism and all their BS really. But they're now leveraging. I think they are now starting to get how they can leverage themselves economically in the world marketplace. And to a large degree, they have caught up with America, just as China already has. So based on their partnerships and their strength over in that region, I do think that Russia is a country to watch economically as we move forward, as well as China and India. So again, get yourself some Russian rubles and buckle the hell up, because we've got a big road ahead of us, man. Hey, man, what do you think about Binance shutting down services to the U.S.? I know VPN, but anything over 2 Bitcoin will require KYC. You're absolutely right. And for that exact reason, we're going to be moving our trading to Coinbase Pro and potentially Wabi. We haven't really decided whether we're going to go. We know we had already decided prior to the Binance launching that we were going to go ahead and start trading on Coinbase Pro as well. But what we are going to do is look into Wabi or Bittrex trading. I'm gonna say, based on the talks that we've had in the office, we're kind of leaning toward Bittrex, but Wabi is still up, kind of for grabs, because again, they're both on. What are the requirements for us to trade on an exchange? They got to be on TradingView. They got to allow U.S. customers, and they have to allow us to withdraw and deposit significant amounts of Bitcoin, and they have to check the 3 boxes for exchanges: security, customer service, user ease of use, security, customer service, ease of use, okay? I need to be able to pick up the phone and call your customer service and have a human on the other end answer the phone. Guess where they do that? Bybit. Guess where they do not do that? BitMEX. I swear to God. I don't know what it is, guys, but customer service is just one of those things that I really, really need, because if I have a problem, I need to call you. Why not just use Binance.us? So we've seen this with, there's nothing wrong with using it, but we've seen this, for example, with other exchanges that go to national currency exchanges, especially with Binance. So Binance already has several jurisdiction or nation-based Binance exchanges that are beyond its global Binance.com. And the liquidity on those exchanges sucks. Their selection sucks. It's nothing that we're going to trade on, man. Yeah, Bittrex will be removing coins as well. You're correct. Well, yeah, I think, just as CZ says, we trade behind a VPN no matter what we do. But, yep, Coinbase is KY, please. KY, please trade on us. We have no liquidity on Coinbase Pro. Thank you so much, Binance, for shutting down so we can have more liquidity. All right, let's see. So we've got about a half hour left in the show, guys. We've gone over some fantastic news. We've gone over traditional markets and Forex, commodities, metals, and our indices. We've gone over Bitcoin and Ethereum. One thing we didn't do is longs and shorts, Bitcoin dominance or USDT dominance. But moving on, listen, guys, and Root of the Plane, there's nothing that I am absolutely supportive of DEXs. And yep, that's the joke, man. I'm so sorry I didn't see you. Thank you so much for the follow over there on Twitch. Welcome to the community. I am very, very supportive of DEXs, but listen, I'm just going to speak as a professional trader. You will never catch me on one. I mean, they're absolute nightmares to use, man. Nightmares. You're never going to get, the way that DEXs are now, you're never going to get mass adoption. I mean, they are just an absolute nightmare to use. There's too many steps, and listen, this is something that I go back and forth on with people in my office and with individuals in cryptocurrency all the time. So the problem is this. A lot of people who are really good with technology tend to develop somewhat of an elitist mentality. And so they say, well, listen, man, you just need to get smarter. And what they don't seem to understand is that if you put barriers to access in between somebody who is not as smart as you, which is the majority most likely of the entire world, and the product and service that you want to promote or grow, you're not going to have a good time. Look at every single massively successful company out there, and they always go from here to frickin' here when all they do is realize, like, okay, I just need to make it as easy as humanly possible for the dumbest person in the world to use my platform. That's what you need. You need to design, if you're going to have a public service, product, platform, whatever, it needs to be designed from the mindset of dumb people, because smart people will always be able to figure stuff out. And that's why you kind of have this dichotomy of smart people and not so smart people. And again, this isn't like a judgment call, right? There are just individuals who are objectively smarter when it comes to technology. But unfortunately, I've noticed an unfortunate trend is that those same people often tend to develop this attitude where, well, we're just going to build a platform that is more advanced and people will just figure it out. No, they won't. No, they won't. They just won't freaking use it. They just won't. They just will not use it. They will say, screw you, and they will go to whatever actually makes them feel comfortable and wanted. So it's just the way that it is, guys. I'm sorry. You can try to make people smarter over time, but you've got to start out from we just have to make it as easy as humanly possible for people to get us all on here, man. Yeah, it's the KISS principle, man. It's the KISS principle. The more complicated you try to make something because you want something for you. Now, I mean, DEXs are great from a security standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint, but I mean, I'm really hoping that Binance.org does it right. But right now, I mean, even the best one out there, and I like BISC, it's a nightmare, dude. It really is a nightmare. And here's the thing. There are people out there with lots of money that really aren't that smart, man. Just because somebody has a lot of money doesn't mean they're smart. And so you're going to want, whales to come on your exchange. Just because people are whales doesn't mean they're smart. Dude, there are I know whales, okay? There are whales that absolutely run roughshod over cryptocurrency pairs. And they're not like any smarter when it comes to analysis. They just got a lot of cash. And when they press that button, the market goes boom, right? A lot of people think it's this Illuminati 19,000 red strings on the wall, like tracking everything. Dude, often it's just some dumb person with a fat finger, man. Not even a fat finger. They're just like, oh, price go up, me sell. Boom. Market dumps. And I hate to say that, man. And again, there are, I don't know. That's my opinion. You guys can agree or disagree with me. I'd love to know what you say. Leave in the comment section. Let me know in the live chat, guys. Yeah, I like Bittrex too. I actually used to trade on Bittrex. Bittrex was the first exchange besides Coinbase that I ever traded on when I first got into cryptocurrency. So I do think that decentralized exchanges are the future, but they're not the present. I'll tell you that. They're not the present. All right, so let's get over into our user-submitted chart requests. And Mr. Leroy Jenkins, we're going to start off with IGNIS, man. IGNIS Bitcoin. So we talked about IGNIS yesterday, and we talked about not taking a position except for the potential reversal trade off the baseline. Now, had you done that, you would have suffered some fairly significant drawdown. You might have even had your stop loss hit. Let's take a gander. You would not have had your stop loss hit. So had you bought at the baseline, you'd have had some drawdown for, I don't know. It seems here like maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 hours. And then now you are finally in a small amount of profit. This is probably a situation where I'd most likely sell at break even. You're up about 3%. I think I'd be happy with that, quite honestly. But here's the thing. I would never trade on Coinbase, or excuse me, I would never trade on Bittrex native. I'd use 3 commas. I need more advanced order features, man. Do a 30-minute chart on IGNIS. Okay. All right, well, you would have gotten a long signal over here at 1730 UTC, and you would have hit all three take profits. So let's take a gander. That would have been about a 7.40% trade. You would have gotten a long signal over here. That would have been a loss here, very small loss, and then you get the trade to the upside. Let's see, you get a couple short signals over here, which is good, but of course you can't go short on this asset. You got a long signal over here that would have gotten you a pretty bad loss, but you wouldn't have taken it because you were above your qualifying line. Short signals here that worked out really well. Multiple short signals here. Let's see, you got a long signal here that I wouldn't have taken. Long signal here that I would have taken. That one would have been a loss. And honestly, you know, if you just want my general assessment, like I've backtested so many thousands of strategies, so many thousands of different indicators, and every single one I found really, really sucks on lower time frames, man. Like lower time frame trading does not work, in my opinion. I don't think it works. It's run by bots. And if you can't move fast enough, if you can't move faster than an algorithmic bot and input thousands of calculations per second, I don't know. I think you're the amount of money that you make when you nail it is generally filtered out by the amount of money that you lose when you don't make it, which in my opinion is the majority of lower time frame traders. Just, you know, have the patience to load up the daily, take the big trends. That's where retail traders actually make money, man. But that is my professional opinion. Gui, hey, what's going on, man? Great as always. If you have time, check out my very new, useful, beautiful, magical, awesome indicator called the Magic Shitcoin Indicator. Based on total 2 divided by BTC USD, it is the idea of Willy Woo with several useful properties, man. Oh, so IGNIS has an airdrop on July 14th. All right, so we're going to look at the Magic Shitcoin Indicator. All right. Thank you so much, Rudy LaPlane. Highly appreciated, my good friend. You searched 3540R. It is a 13-period exponential moving average. All right, Bitcoin currently trading at $10,705 over here on Bybit's perpetual swap contract. Keep it coming, baby. Why buy something and then give away? Don't understand. I do it all the time. It's called having children. All right, IGNIS. All right, so you're saying that IGNIS has an airdrop on July 14th. So buy the rumor and sell the news. Let's go look at the daily. Let's go look at the weekly, actually, in that case. The weekly looks bullish. We are above the weekly baseline. We've been in a downtrend for a long time. Big volume pushing us up above. This actually doesn't look bad on the weekly. On the 3-day, looks pretty good. On the daily, I am still biased to the long side because we are above the daily baseline. We have had a high and a lower high and currently a higher low, so a consolidation period. I would say that something massively pumped the rumor here when we went up 200%. That makes this a very difficult area to get across. So we're going to go ahead and do a slightly different application of a shitcoin order block, and that is going to be the area of 976 sats to 817 sats. That is the area where we need to break above. If you see us break that area, then you're good to go. Would I call you dumb for picking up a reversal trade again in the direction of the dominant trend right now? No, I would not. Picking up a bag here at 693 and looking to offload it between 817 and 976 doesn't actually sound like a terrible idea to me. Not a trade I would take, but I can understand the concept behind it, especially with the fundamentals of an airdrop coming. Keep in mind that everybody thinks that that is a catalyst for bullish appreciation. You have no idea, because I have seen airdrops, ask me anything, positive news events, coin splits, everything, every possible news event that you could see in my 3+ years of cryptocurrency trading, and I've seen the market react in a completely contrarian way that you would expect. So just because there's an airdrop coming up does not mean that price is going to go up. In fact, there is an equal chance that price will just go down because nobody cares. Really, I mean, who cares about IGNIS? And I'm not being offensive to you. I don't mean to be. But nobody cares about IGNIS. IGNIS is nothing. IGNIS is doing absolutely nothing. It's gone up a little bit. So has everything else. So For example, EOS launched their whatever. ADA launched their Shelley testnet. And ADA just hit all 3 of our take profit targets on our short. So what does that tell you, man? Nobody cares about the fundamentals from a trading perspective. Price doesn't care about fundamentals, generally. Now, that's not to say that there are not massive news events that move the market. Of course there are. But for a retail trader, if you're buying based on if you're buying based off of the potential airdrop coming up, I don't know. I just caution you, man, because there's a difference between most people think a concept works because they've just heard it, but I've actually back tested this stuff, and there is no edge whatsoever in there being an airdrop coming up. It gives you no directional bias, especially when you've already seen it move. You've already saw that happen. Could it do it again? Could. Yeah, it's crypto, man. But I would not factor that into your analysis. I think that you are going to make much more money in the long run developing a strategy. But again, don't take that in any bad way, shape, or form. This is something that would fall into if you're buying based off the airdrop, 2 to 3% of your account, be willing to lose it all. If this falls into, hey man, this looks bullish, it doesn't look too bad. You got a nice order block up here that you could target. It's about 30% above price. We could go for law of diminishing return right here. So maybe we could just shoot for the lower end spectrum of it. So 15 to 20%. They give away. I don't understand. What are you talking about? Meister? Can I do a short review on the GRIN chart? 4 hour? Bjorn? I don't know how to... IGNIS is a soldier for Ardor, which is the fortress. Is there any future in storage coins like Sia or Filecoin? I like Sia coin, but I don't know. Hey, now, I am 1 day into my EOS USDT trade. Don't hate. Hey, I'm 1 day into my EOS USD trade, brother. Yeah, Scott's got a huge bag of Sia coin, but he was a miner, so that doesn't count. You got it for free. Moving on. Let's go to Algo BTC. I think this is probably not on TradingView. Did you did I catch that wrong, man? I'm pretty sure you had typed in Algo BTC and I had never even heard of it, so not exactly sure what we're talking about here, bro. So until you get back to me, Mr. Alex, ZERP, BTC. Matt, I missed if you asked for ZERP Bitcoin or ZERP USD or your ZERP USDT. So obviously I was in an XRP M19 short. I hit take profit 1 on this movement to the downside. I'd already taken a little bit, but then we got stopped out at entry. So that's totally fine. So I'm actually out of my XRP M19 position, this nice little Darth Maul candle kicking me out, and that's okay. I don't see anything really fantastic here, honestly. Now, I will say this. Double bottom in my buy zone. Okay, double bottom in my buy zone. Now, am I going to take another chance and buy up my buy zone? No, I was very happy with my profits, taking the trend following short to the downside right here, the continuation short. And okay, I will look at USD after I finish with this scintillating analysis of XRP BTC that nobody seems to care about now that you asked for the USD chart. I'm just teasing. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, so again, you guys remember I talked about ZERP BTC for quite a while. A lot of people wanted to buy this territory. People, were talking shit at me because I wasn't bullish here, and I got bullish here. And I did buy this green box territory. Anybody in the group can account for that. Again, the public result is live. The trade is live. Bought here, and sold here. Nice 30% on that trade. Very happy with it. And I talked about, we were talking about ZERP the other day. Somebody said, hey man, where's the bottom? And I said, well, you should probably lower your sights from here to here. And that would have been a good trade. granted, you would have had to take profit really quick at the baseline, but wicking right up to our baseline and rejecting from it, as we often see price do. Price does respect the baseline. That's why it is the baseline. That's why it works very well as the baseline. And I don't really see any bullishness from this right now. ZERP USD, man. User GT, we'd be happy to have you, man. So let's go look at ZERP dollar over on the devil, old Finex right here. Now, we did get a long signal over here. Let's actually throw up ATR Quadrigo. Yeah, we could have taken it on the 16th of June. Would have been a ZERP USD long trade on Bitfinex. This is actually on this candle is obviously where I moved into my spot ZERP over on EOS, or excuse me, over on Bybit, because I do have I do have spot ZERP over there. So I'm sitting, EOS, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and ZERP sitting in a 1x long on all those coins since the cross across the baseline, which happened on slightly different days for different coins, but whatever, I digress, as opposed to my 1x short that I opened up right here. And anyways, one thing that is interesting. Thank you, Rudy LaPlane. I love what I do, man. I love trading. We are getting a continuation long on ZERP USD, and there is a big volume spike, right? So volume oscillator confirming, Wadatar explosion confirming. If we can look, we do know that Wadatar is more sensitive for entry indications. We actually would have gotten a long signal yesterday from Wadatar, but we do have to be careful when looking at those because we do get a lot of bad signals from Wadatar as well. So we do have to apply a filter, for example. But again, you guys will figure this all out with your back testing when you do it properly. So ZERP USD actually looks good, man. I'm not going to lie. ZERP USD actually looks like a good trade. This is all banking that we have increased volatility and bullish activity, but nice volume spike basically coming out of consolidation. And so this only means one of two things, that we are breaking out or that we are grabbing liquidity before a reversal. And either way, since we don't trade reversals, it is worth figuring out. So I would say ZERP USD looks really good to the long side, man. That is actually a trade that I might take tonight. We looked at Neo for Wally, man. Thank you so much for the $2 for that. And we're going to take a brief dive over here into the Magic Shitcoin indicator. I don't see it, man. I don't see it, Gui. You do realize that it takes a while for it to show up in searching, so you're going to have to send me the link. And Bjorn asks for GRIN on the 4-hour chart. So let's go over here to GRIN. And we are on the 4-hour chart. So GRIN on the 4-hour chart. Volume oscillator. Actually, we're going to speed this up a little bit. We had done these here, so 3 and 5. Here it is. Oh, just shitcoin. No magic. Just nothing. No magic, just shit. Okay. Gotcha. Let's take no sure thing off, and let's actually throw on CCI, which I actually like better. 0 line, sorry. Damn, I really feel like listening to Sublime right now. But this is not Sublime. Is it a scam indicator by the Magic Poop Cannon? I will tell you this. I don't have anything positive to say about Mr. Magic Poop Cannon. I know some stuff that I probably shouldn't know. You are breathtaking, Alex. You take my breath away. take my breath away. Dun, dun, dun. Listen, man, I don't see anything positive yet on GRIN. Let's look at a few things, man. We are below the baseline. CCI is not giving a signal to go long yet. Even if we speed it up, let's speed it up. You want to speed it up? Let's speed it up to 15. Still no signal, all right? I wouldn't recommend going any lower than 15. So, and that is going to give us, you know, again, we're going to get more false signals. MFI is not giving us a signal to go long. There is good volume, as we can see that. Volume is building up. We need to wait for it to break above the baseline and actually enter into a nice bullish trend. Now, even if we speed the baseline up to the most sensitive baseline that I will use, that is an 8-period exponential moving average. Again, a Hall moving average works really well too. Maybe check that out, guys. Or a Donchian moving average as well. So that's not actually even a moving average. It is a high-low, exactly how Ichimoku lines are calculated. Experiment with your baselines, guys. There's lots of different good ones out there. The one that I use is more conservative. Maybe you want to be less conservative because, again, you have to understand that from the minds of a money manager, saving money is more important than making money. So, you know, let's speed MFI up. Let's speed MFI up to like 10. I don't really even like 10. Like 12 is the fastest I like to go. We're just not getting a signal yet. Maybe on the next candle we get a signal. And this is with sped up settings on MFI and CCI. So we're close though, and we are getting above the baseline, and the volume does look good. So maybe just a little bit more kick, or you're applying a little bit more risk and you want to speed up your indicators. Of course, if we just go back and look historically, we can see that when we wait for the signal from MFI, typically things go in our favor, and when we wait for the signal from CCI, from CCI, things tend to go in our favor because it's going to filter out a lot of losses if we just trade accruing to a strategy. Now let's look at volume though for GRIN. I will say this. Look at this. So a lot of volume on the movement down, consolidation, absolutely nothing, and big volume down here toward the end because we had this nice big run up, price pulling back down, a lot of buying going on right here. So maybe a good opportunity here, man. Actually, the song I was thinking of was My Ruka. Not gonna lie. So we're going to go take a look. You know, I don't really feel like I have enough time to apply to it. I don't really feel like I have enough time to apply to it now, but let's go look at that. Magic Willy Woo's shitcoin indicator. All right, let's see what we got here, man. Okay. Total other market cap or current chart. Well, you need to make that more like understandable. Like, so what happens if I unclick that? But whatever, EMA or SMA. Okay, so again, just some helpful feedback, man. Again, going back to that, designing things as simple as possible. Instead of EMA or SMA, well, I don't know what the default is. So EMA question mark, unclick if you want SMA. Just change the text, man. Fast MA length, typo. Slow MA length, typo. Yearly SMA or EMA. Again, I have no idea what the default is, brother. And then I would highly recommend you change your plot names just for added, just for better, just little things, man. Sorry. From a Pine developer. But the real trick is, does this give good signals? So, GUI. How do I use this, man? Do I use this on Bitcoin? Again, I got to go in like 5 minutes, but because I got to go do my trading. It's a good tune. I can take some more time later and look at this with more seriousness, my brother. So this is... Oh, okay, I get what it is. Okay, so this is... From what I understand... The total crypto market cap, total 2, divided by BTC. So is that the black line? Right, but what is the black line? Is the black line total 2 divided by BTC USD, or is that like the moving what is the moving average? Is the moving average just a moving average of Bitcoin? What's the purple line, and then what is this? I'll tell you what, man, this is a little much on the show, so just DM me this information, and then I can do a better analysis of it on the stream, brother. Oh, no problem, dude. In fact, I look forward to helping you out more with this, man, and maybe this is really awesome, dude. Willy Woo comes up with some cool stuff, and I appreciate you coding this in, brother. So get a hold of me in the DM. It seems like there's a lot of moving parts here, and I just want to be able to understand all of them so I can actually give you a better assessment, man. I think this looks really neat. I just would like to know how to use it. So get that information to me, and I'll work with you some more in the DM. All right, guys. So as we leave you tonight, Bitcoin's sitting at 10,685, and that's right, guys. That's right. Doing good, man. I would not, I'm not betting against the farm. I'm in a long position. Now, I want to make this very clear. My long position is in a no-loss situation because right now my stop is at break-even. So there's no way I can lose money. So best of luck to you guys. Be very careful. Trade safely. And let's slide right on over into, as soon as I find Winamp and pause it and get done with the llama whipping, let's get over here, guys. All right, guys, so thank you so much for joining us for another exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I've been your host, Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at CrackingCryptocurrency.com. If you have enjoyed the show, if you are impressed with the knowledge that we have as far as trading and you would like to see more that we have to offer, check out our info page at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com for access to our private Discord community, for access to our indicators and strategies, our reliable signals and setup, as well as all our educational content in audio and video form, including our Pathways to Profit strategy guide and our premium webinar series covering topics from technical strategy to risk management, psychology, lifestyle, and discipline, guys. So thank you so much. Now, one last parting thing is, do you like listening to your amazing crypto podcast, guys? Do you like me listening to nothing but podcasts all day long to expand your brain, to expand your mind, and use fancier words? Because that is actually a podcast that I listen to. It helps my vocabulary out. Well, you might want to check out the Breaking Bitcoin podcast. That's right. This show, all the awesomeness that you just saw, you can see in podcast form. So Scott has spent many sleepless nights toiling over this, making it as humanly awesome as possible. Just as much time as I put into making the video shows as humanly awesome as possible. So big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. And it is in its beta rollout, almost non-beta phase. So you guys can go to breakingbitcoin.crackingcryptocurrency.com to see the current and past show notes. You can see literally the script that I use for every show. You can see all the news, all the links, all the charts, all the timestamps, not only in the description, but fully fleshed out at breakingbitcoin.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Right now on Google Music and Google Podcasts, we are showing up as Cracking Cryptocurrency. Scott's working on fixing this. But on Stitcher, Spotify, Podbeam, and now iTunes, we are under there as Breaking Bitcoin. So please go out, check us out, add us to your RSS feed, find us on your favorite podcast catcher, and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Always appreciated. Thanks you so much for the support. And iHeartRadio and a few more soon are coming as they are approved. So if you are new to the channel or if you're a returning viewer, make sure to help us out by liking, subscribing, sharing, and engaging. Leave your comments down in the section below if you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and or death threats. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until tomorrow evening, guys, trade safely and peace out.